Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I was going to do another unboxing video, but I was getting bored editing it because I just did one on Tuesday and I realized I had to take pictures for all of the little products because I went through them so fast, so I just didn't feel like doing that today. So instead, I'm gonna do a little book haul video. It won't be a very long one, but I'll just tell you what I got this week in the mail and at the bookstore. Yay! Alright, so in no particular order, these are the things that I got. First is Sea of Rust. The title really grabbed me and the book cover really grabbed me, so I was hoping that it sounded interesting. And then I read the back, and the first little blurb from an author says, 40 megaton cruise missile of a novel, it'll blow you away and lay waste to your heart. Most visceral, relentless, breathtaking work of science fiction in any medium since Mad Max Fury Road. And that was from Joe Hill. And I really like Joe Hill's novels, so I figured that's probably worth at least looking on the inside. And it's about, okay, there's no humans left, and so there's like a group of rebel robots that still remember what all the robots did to the humans and are kind of starting an uprising, I think, against like the main AI that controls most of the robots. So anyway, it sounded really cool, and it's really pretty, so it was worth getting. Okay, the next thing I got is Zero Repeat Forever. First of all, really interesting title. Second of all, I'm really drawn to really black books with like silvery writing that almost you kind of have to like, you don't see at first, and just the design of this was really nice. The sphere with the, I don't know what that is, molten something, and then the little dandelion on the inside, it just really drew me in. So I was like, please be interesting. And it really sounded really interesting. It looks, I don't know what my deal is right now, but this one is like a robot, I think, and a human, and their counterparts both get killed. And so they're thrown together and then they have to survive together. Anyway, it sounded really cool, so I got it. Okay, speaking of black books, the reason that I really like, that I'm really drawn to black books is that when I was first writing The Onyx Vial and I was talking to my husband about it, and I had finished it for like the third time, we were talking about covers, and he thought it'd be really cool to do like an all black cover with like gray writing, so it would be really hard to see. And I was like, yeah, that'd be interesting, but also hard to read. But it kind of always stuck with me, and I think it just kind of dug into me. So anytime I see black books that are like that, it just, I don't know, I like them based on some vague idea of a novel cover that we never did. Anyway, the next thing is the Death Note Black editions. I got volume Roman numerals, I don't know them, I guess it'd be 2, 3, and 4. They have volumes, okay, so it's weird because it's volume, this is like 2, 3, and 4. I have one, I've already gotten it, I'm like halfway through it. But they contain volumes 3 and 4, and then volumes 5 and 6, and then 6 and 7. So it's a little weird, but anyway, despite all the number weirdness. Yeah, I got the first one, and then I thought that was the only one there was. I got it in New York, and then I went to Barnes & Noble yesterday? No, I went to Barnes & Noble earlier in the week and noticed that there were more of them, so I figured with hell, I'll just get them all right now. The reason that I was doing this is because my husband gave me a gift card. And when I say he gave me a gift card, he actually just said, I will give you a gift card. So he hasn't actually given it to me yet. So I pre-spent the gift card. So he's just gonna put money in my account, call it even. no patience. It was already burning a hole in my pocket. Okay, so the next things I got, okay, I love Philip Pullman. I love his Dark Materials so much. I read it in college. I had gotten a bunch of gift cards for Christmas, I think, and then my birthday or something like that. I had a ton, and I had them all saved up, and I went to the bookstore, and I got a bunch of trilogies, like his Dark Materials, and I think I read more than, I think there was more than 3, but it was like the Artemis Fowl series. Like I read some of them. The whole series wasn't out at that point. What else did I get? Anyway, I got a bunch of other things, but I remember getting those and loving those. So I kind of became obsessed with Philip Pullman. And when I saw these little companions to the books, I knew I had to have them. Also, the covers are really pretty. I really love the design. Like, I love this style. I wish there was an artist out there who would like trade me services and draw my covers like these, because that'd be so cool. I just can't do faces very well. I'm gonna have to learn, because my plans for the rest of the series on my book covers are that the characters are gonna turn and actually face you, but I don't know. I guess I need to practice more. Anyway, I'm really excited about those 2 books. Okay, the next set I'm going to show you are 3 books from the same author. It's this one, this one, and this one. So one of the people I follow on Instagram was like, hey, these are going to be turned into a single novel soon, and so you won't be able to get them in 3. And for some reason I just felt like I really needed to have all 3 covers. So I went to Amazon and I threw them in my cart really fast. I haven't read any of Elsie Kova's books, but I have, I think it's Air Awakens on my very short TBR pile. So once I get through my Stephen King books, I'm going to read that one and some other ones, but anyway, so I'm really excited to read those, and I need to get the rest of the series that goes with Air Awakens, because I've only heard really good things about it. And by really good things, I mean she'll tear your heart out. So, you know, I'm looking forward to that. Which is something I think only readers really say, like, oh, this book tore my heart out. You have to read it. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean. Okay, so the next thing is, speaking of Stephen King, I got 3 more of his books. The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon, Thinner, and The Tommyknockers, which I'm currently listening to on audiobook. Yes, I like getting the actual physical copies when I have audiobooks. I don't always do it, but since this is part of work, I like to have physical copies so that I can make notes and while I read. So I had to get it since I started it the other day. And the next thing I got, or next things I got, were some Neil Gaiman books. Got this one, and this one, and this one. I actually really love this cover. Kind of vintagey looking style. I almost got it, but I already have a copy and I love that cover, the copy that I have, so I felt like it was kind of wasteful of the money I was getting to buy it. But the cover, like the vintage looking cover of Stardust was really cool, and I almost got it. I may go back for it, I don't know. I'm not saying that I'm researching him for a future theme, but I might be. Okay, the next thing I got was Andromeda of Mars. When I was at Bookneck Fest, I was at a panel and listening to one of the authors talking about like sci-fi books that he liked, and he mentioned this one, and the premise sounded really cool, so I made a note of it, and I remembered to look at my notes when I was at Barnes & Noble, which I usually forget to do, and got it. So I'm really excited about this one. And the final 3 books that I got were this trilogy, which I have been eyeing for like a year maybe or longer. I don't know. Every time I see them, I want to get them, but I'm always just a little bit unsure. And then somebody on Instagram the other day said that it was like Game of Thrones in feudal Japan, and I was like, sold. We're doing it. So basically an excuse to get these gorgeous, gorgeous books in my hands. Really excited about it though. I mean, they look awesome, and eventually I'll get to read them. I still have a lot of research books to do first though, so I'm enjoying that, which is, it's nice. That's one nice thing about my job is I get to read a bunch of books for work, but I just have to read them really fast. I started reading Stephen King books in April, and I'm still not all the way through them, and I have to pick quotes and get my artists in line and get going because I will be ordering everything at the end of the month. So I've made the decisions today. I've actually made all the decisions, so I know what I'm gonna put in my box, and yeah, I can always have another one. There were tons of quotes that I already wanted, and I didn't even get through all the books, so I think I did okay. Hopefully everybody else will feel that way too. The one thing I think is really funny that I found lately with the Stephen King one is everyone's really like, I keep getting like, as long as there's no clown in it, you know, there's no clowns. This is not, just because it's Stephen King and just because it's kind of around October, like the reason that I picked Stephen King for October is because he's known as being a horror writer, but the quotes that I'm picking are not, I mean, it's quotes. Like after a year and a half of my box, you should by now know that I tend to pick quotes that are kind of inspiring and kind of, you know, moving in some way. Yes, there are a couple quotes that kind of allude to like something darker, which I think works really well because then you have props for your Instagram for like Halloween and spooky stuff, but you also can use them year round. Just use them when you're reading scarier books. But for the most part, it's, okay, maybe not all of them are gonna be bookmarks, so that was a little odd, but you can put them up when you're, golly, I'm getting off track, sorry. Anyway, you can use them year round, and a lot of the quotes are getting a little bit I love books type of feelings about them, so I really hope that people don't skip out on this box just because they're like, I'm not a fan of Stephen King, because Stephen King has some amazing quotes that transcend, like, if you don't read his books, that's fine, like, you should still like the quote. Maybe that's just me, but, and he's not just a horror writer. My favorite book of his is a fantasy, so I think people need to give him a chance if they haven't. And yeah, so anyway, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and that's it. I think that's all the things you can do. So like, comment, and subscribe. Yay. Have a great weekend, everybody, and I will see you again on Tuesday.